Welcome back to the show, y'all. I'm your host, Billy Willig. We are at Trent's Unnamed studio, and Trent Ludzack is producing tonight.
Always.
We're joined today by my guest, Tim Chirikalov.
Yeah.
That's how I say it, at least.
That's how you said it. That's good.
Is that...
Hello.
What's the proper pronunciation, Tim?
Chirikalov.
Okay.
But I'm not even sure if that's the proper... You know what I mean? Like, if my parents heard it, they'd be like, that's wrong, too. You know what I mean? So, if you get fancy and roll the R, then it's like, I'm going to leave you alone.
Chirikalov.
Yeah. Put
Something
some
like
stank
that.
on it.
You got to be, like, wearing an Adidas tracksuit when you say it.
I want to get I don't have one. My parents both have one. I didn't get past
Both your
them.
parents have one? Okay.
Yeah, like the stereotype is real.
For context, you're not from the United States, right?
That's right.
Where are you from?
This little town called Kiev, Ukraine.
Oh, that's controversial.
Yeah, it's a trending topic right now. We're in the news.
I didn't even ask if like the Ukrainian war is off topic or off
No,
limits for this show.
I don't know.
But I am not qualified to speak on it. So
Well, I don't think anyone's. I don't know what the qualifications are besides having internet. So it's still going on. I just saw the David Letterman interview Zelensky on Netflix,
yeah.
and that was insightful, I suppose.
Wait, it was Letterman interviewing Zelensky?
Yeah, he went to Ukraine and he interviewed him in a
man.
subway bunker.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So you're probably in support of Ukraine in this whole thing, right?
I mean, I like the cause of
Tim
what
is
they're standing behind.
Tim is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Do we have to
In
clarify?
case the listeners were wondering. But that means you could become president of
I'm not
Ukraine.
in support of the war. Let me be clear. I'm not pro-war.
But you support the troops, right?
I mean, sure. Yeah. Support the troops. Thanks for doing it.
Did they send you a letter like, hey, you got to come back, bro?
No, I never got a recruitment. And if I did, I would throw it away. I wouldn't.
Are you an American citizen or are you
Yeah.
visa? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a dual citizen.
Okay.
Dual threat.
Oh, wow. Well, like when I went to find out what was happening over there, like there's so much information that goes back so far to like the Cold War and World War II and stuff. It's like, where does this even start?
Yeah. Well, it's confusing because when I was born, it was still the Soviet Union.
Okay.
It wasn't Russia or Ukraine or all the other stuff in between.
Showing your age there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm 104 years old. So it's very odd because from my point of view, it's just like cousins fighting. You know what I mean? It's just they're all speaking like it's not very often that.
It's kind of a civil war.
Yeah,
almost.
you can talk to your enemy, like, hey, cut that out.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah, it's kind of that's what makes me the most sad about it. Is that they really are the same people,
Right.
fighting amongst each other.
Yeah, but you get to a certain level, then they'll be like, we're not the same. You know what I mean? That's where the controversy starts to where you try to divide.
As an American, though, you're always in support of like the little guy fighting, sticking up for
Yeah.
what they got or whatever.
Yeah, well, it also helps when they send all of the weapons over there.
That's not on me.
No.
I didn't vote.
I don't want to get political or anything, but it is interesting to watch.
I guess that is on me if I didn't vote.
Well, I don't think
Who's
that was
that?
on the ballot.
Who does that, Joe? Dick Cheney or something?
I've never seen that on the ballot. It was like, hey, do you want to go to war? Yes or no? I'd probably vote in that case.
I'd say no.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
How do we get 51% of people to vote for yes on war? What is?
We're losing war with the young crowd.
Yeah.
Well, like, dude, the Middle East, like, that's sad watching those documentaries because those people fighting are young too. They're like 22 years old and stuff. Like young people fighting them.
They're spry.
Yeah, they don't know anything else. They were born into it.
Sure.
And then raised in it. Like,
well, a lot of them have a draft where it's like,
yeah.
I think in Israel you have to serve in the military.
Right.
I don't know anywhere else, but it's kind of like their education.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
You can't ask women that question, but luckily.
No, but men, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm 30, so I feel like our generation of Americans would like not have a good time if there was a draft.
Yeah. Not have a good time is a good way to put it. Yeah, man, I got to go to war. I'm real bummed. It's also not like now people that go to the military are like want to. You know what I mean? Those aren't fun people in the first place.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. They put the Predator logo on everything.
Yeah. I'm looking to fight.
They listen to like Five Finger Death Punch and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Like, there's a bunch of holes in their drywall. Those are not fun hangs.
Then they get stuck in the armory or something for 4 years. They're like, this sucks. There's no one to kill.
Yeah. That's when they get bummed out. Is when they can't commit murder.
There's a huge epidemic of depression in the armed forces.
Yeah, probably because they're not doing what they love to do.
Stealing other people's land and women.
Yeah, I'm not in a foreign land in a big metal tank.
Yeah, Vietnam I think was when America really peaked.
Yeah, that was that like the fun war when like you would get like Elvis and stuff and like Johnny Cash were like in the trenches. you never knew who you're gonna be.
Not Donald Trump though.
Yeah,
you wouldn't see Trump there.
You wouldn't see Trump.
But Elvis
would write you a ballad.
Oh, come on.
Don't get blood on my blue switch.
How long you been doing comedy?
I just hit 8 years.
Dang.
I started in 2014.
Where'd you start?
In Athens, Flicker Bar. You ever perform there?
Athens, Georgia?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of Athens.
I started there. I started in college. And then I consider Tampa like my start in comedy because I moved right after I started doing comedy.
Okay.
But my first place performing was in Athens.
With the UGA?
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you study?
Wait, why the Dam after 8 years?
Oh, that's a long time.
The hell's that mean?
But I haven't been seeing you in Atlanta for that long.
No, I've only been in Atlanta for, I think a year and a half.
No, you got a good act, man. You're funny.
Thanks.
But you know that. You get around on all
I get around.
shows and things. You've been on most of the good showcases people want to be on in Atlanta.
I guess. It doesn't really mean much.
You out here killing it. It doesn't mean anything.
I've done a bar show that everyone wants to be on.
Right.
That no one remembers that they were on.
Right.
That's
I've played there with my band before, but never stand up because you know how it goes. You have to do some. Yeah,
a lot of it is just being like just
knowing the guy
face.
who books it. That's all it is. Becoming friends with the person who books it. Any show you want to get on, you become friends with the person who books it. Eventually, they'll feel bad enough for you to put you.
Right. Yeah, it's all a guilt trip. I've been guilting people to put me on their shows.
Put them on your show.
Yeah, there is that sort of networking
on a day that's convenient for them.
Right. Yeah. Cater to their schedule.
And if they don't show
pick
up,
up their groceries, do their laundry, then maybe they'll book you on their bar show.
If they don't show up to your bar show, then give them another chance.
Yeah,
because they, they have a great show.
Just and then compliment them. Keep complimenting them. That's how you make it in comedy, folks. Don't write jokes. Just do errands for bookers.
Move the chairs. Help fold up the chairs when the show's
over.
Yeah,
and eventually you're an employee of a comedy club, and you're like, I've made it.
Free video work. That's always a good one.
Yeah.
If you can do video work, man, you are a comedian.
I guess. I think any kind of like, they call it industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that could mean literally the folding of the chairs.
Not always, man, but
Yeah.
I've done merch. And no
Yeah,
one,
that's like the least
no one cares
labor
about the
intensive, I
merch
think.
guy. That's the most labor intensive.
Yeah.
Well, physical labor.
I'm the ladder guy. Bringing ladders to wrestling matches and shit.
Stage production crew, that's a thankless job right there, too.
Yeah.
Because no one really cares about them.
Yeah, my girlfriend's brother does stuff like that, where he's like, "We need a vase now." And then he's gotta go speed over to Goodwill, you know.
I've done some acting work from this guy I knew who was like a casting guy, and they treated me like the vase. Like they were like, "We need a guy who looks like Jesus." And so I would come take my hair down and put on the Halloween costume, and I would be Jesus.
The Halloween, the curtain,
Yeah.
the little that was robe on. That's a funny way to put it. I'm the vase.
Yeah, essentially I was.
Throw yourself against that wall.
And he found me because he was just coming home. I was at my friend's house, sitting outside, like smoking, and he saw my hair. He was like, "Hey man, what's your hair look like now?" Like, as he was just getting home from work.
You got recruited.
Yeah.
Right off the street.
So I took my hair down, and he was like, "You gotta look like Jesus."
What's my hair look like? Come here. Let me objectify you real quick.
Like, can you grow more of a beard?
That's great.
Like, yeah, you guess.
Cool. Can you be the savior of mankind?
For this rap music video.
Yeah. How do you feel about carpentry work?
Which I did find it flattering that rappers were putting white Jesus in their music video.
Yeah. That's like reverse gentrification.
It was fun though. Did you do any work did you do any stage work before comedy, or was that like?
I was in a third grade play.
Okay.
I had.
That doesn't count.
It's not on stage. The first time I was on stage.
I was the letter Z.
I had one. No, what's the do re mi thing? I don't know what the name of the play, or if it's just like a song or something. But my line was do.
There you go.
That was the first time I got into show business. But you mean like, was I doing comedy before stand-up?
I mean, just like any other show business related activities.
No. The first time I heard of an open mic is when I decided to do comedy.
How was that?
Oh, it was great. I wish I did it 12 years ago.
What was the first open mic like? It was a comedy open mic?
Yeah. I didn't know what open mics were.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, any idiot can go up there and tell jokes. And my best friend did it.
That's what's up.
And I was like, I can do that. I was one of these, you know what I mean? One of the people in the audience like, what do you do?
These guys are funny.
I can totally do that. Do you know Caleb Sinan?
I don't think so.
He, I think he started in Atlanta. And he was hosting the open mic years and years ago.
This was in Atlanta or Athens?
This is in Athens.
Okay.
And then I think he went to Atlanta.
He's
like one of the success stories of the Atlanta scene, but obviously, apparently not. If you guys haven't heard of him,
where is he now?
I think he's in L.A., but I'm not really sure what he's doing. He came
if
back.
If you're not an Atlanta person, I really don't know who you are, though.
I thought he was an Atlanta person. I think he got it started.
Well, I'm not really. I wasn't plugged into the whole Atlanta scene for a while because I was doing my own thing at like a music venue.
Yeah, you're a musician, aren't you?
Kinda, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not anything special. Like, I'm not shit.
Yeah. Well, I didn't play any. I was in the band and I got kicked out.
I was in a band and we used to go on tour a lot.
Yeah.
But, we would break even at times and not lose too much money.
That's the goal. There's just to break even.
And we put out some good records. I really think we had some great music. Sometimes I listen back, I'm like, I don't even know how we came up with stuff like this.
What was the name of the band?
We're called Like Mike. Yeah, you can't find it like that.
Like Mike. That sounds I like that Candy Mike and Ike's.
Well, what happened was, there is an official page for the movie. We did.
Wait, like Michael Jordan, like Mike? Is that what the
movie with Lil Bow Wow? Yeah, but also Michael Jordan. Yeah,
yeah.
We were like a pop.
He wants to be like Mike, right?
Like Mike. See, what happened was there was a DJ named. There's our stuff. Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike, something like that. But they were always releasing albums together, and they were from Europe. So we didn't know that was out there when we started this. And then they blew up even in America, kind of, with it's like club house music, like trance or whatever.
Yeah. And
it's good music, but once they blew up, it just buried us completely.
Yeah, you got to change your name.
For one. And then COVID happened. Yeah, Street Ball.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. You don't have to play it, but it's like rock music, essentially. Okay. And we would tour around. We had a van. It was a piece of crap.
What is that picture of?
That was my old living room. The album's called.
It's like a fish island.
It's a 360-degree photo.
Okay.
The album's called My Best Friend's Living Room. Who's that? One of my fans. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, look at that.
We got supporters out here, dog.
Yeah, I was like.
But we put out a couple. We put that one out. Mostly EPs, like smaller stuff, but that one's a full album.
That's cool. Did you ever get any songs on the radio or anything?
99X plays our music still every once in a while.
I like 99X. I remember them.
But they come and go.
Cool, man.
They used to have a show called Must Not Suck on Sunday evenings. Yeah. Shouts out to Evan and Garrett at Cumulus.
Must Not Suck. That's a good standard.
Yeah, and they'll play local bands on there, and they did a throwback one, and they played us recently.
Nice.
Because we don't tour or anything anymore.
Yeah.
But we used to have 20,000 followers on Twitter. That was pretty good.
Cool.
I was wild on Twitter before. I had to delete my Twitter and make a new one.
Oh, why?
Because I had a manager at the time, and she told me to.
Oh, dang. You lost all your followers?
Yeah, I had thousands of followers, too.
What if you can't, reactivate
I wasn't doing comedy at the time. I wouldn't even know how.
I don't. So what?
Oh, it's like Mike GA.
Tweet a joke and then see how many.
We don't have that many followers on Instagram.
This is the other. This is the European.
All one word, like Mike GA. Yeah, that is the European like Mike. He has 1.2 million followers. Yeah, that dude's killing it.
Oh,
we used to tweet at him and stuff.
That's humbling.
That guy got a tattoo.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, we have merch and.
I wonder, do you ever get confused for the DJ one?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah,
somebody bought a T-shirt from us one time, and it was from Germany, and I was like, I know this dude doesn't know what he's buying, but we sent it to him. It cost me $40 to ship that.
Oh, you lost money on merch?
Yeah, dude. Well, I think it was a $40 hoodie or something like that, so it was just zero at the end of the day, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever, man.
There's one confused German out there.
At least there's one hoodie in Germany somewhere. That's cool to me.
He goes to the concerts and he's like,
I used to book shows.
That's not me. That's why I attempted it.
I don't know what that hoodie is, but it's not mine. We did a bunch of tours and stuff. So I've done stuff all over. But Athens is so close to home, I just never
Yeah. My parents I grew up in Athens. I went to, middle school, high school. And so it was just like my hometown.
That was like a joke. But people actually believed it was real.
Was that you?
Yeah. We photoshopped
Which one are you? Which one are you?
That one, yeah.
Really? That's you?
Yeah.
Man. You look puffier.
Yeah, what a loser.
Why are you wearing the same shirt as the other guy?
I don't know.
Did you take turns wearing the same shirt?
Probably. It gets rough in the man,
it's
dude.
All right, now it's your turn for the mugshot.
I would go on the road for a month with just a backpack with my stuff, and then a duffel bag stuffed to the edges with clothes, and that was it.
Yeah,
for a whole month. Yeah.
Yeah.
The duffel bag would have my toothbrush and stuff and soap and whatever, and then just my backpack would have my laptop and my notebook and whatever else. I would bring a power strip. I'm a very good touring guy. I can survive.
Yeah.
I know what to bring. I know what not to bring. I know how not to lose my stuff in the van or at the venue.
I thought about living in a van. I lived in New York for a while, and I was like, what if I just do this van life thing?
Where are you gonna park in New York though?
Anywhere on the streets.
You gotta pay for that, man.
Yeah, but it's cheaper than rent. I mean, I'll pay a $20, parking spot.
Facts.
But and then I saw some buddies were living in vans, and I saw their setup. I'm like, oh, you guys are pissing in buckets and stuff.
They got some nice vans now, though.
Not my friends.
There must be a 24-hour gym in New York.
That's the thing. Yeah, you got to find a place to shower and stuff. And
oh yeah, the gym, man. Then you get a quick workout in too.
You got just a jacked guy that lives in this van. Then you couldn't fit into the van.
Well, I was working out all the time when we were like on the road and stuff because that's where I would shower and take a dump. And
you got into shape just out of circumstance.
Yeah, take an hour, do a little workout, take a shower, change your clothes.
I used to do a joke about getting into shape by accident because I would just go to the gym to try to hit on women. But
yeah, there you go.
If they're not in there, I'm like, well, I guess I'll curl. I guess I'll do some bench presses while I wait.
That's funny. That's a good bit.
Yeah. But the biggest reason I didn't live in a van is because I didn't think any girls would want to come back to my van.
They will though.
But yeah, apparently they will. And so I ended up living, dude, I lived in I think I had literally the smallest apartment in New York.
Sometimes we give the ladies a little more credit.
Too much credit, yeah.
Deserve.
Sometimes I think they have standards.
They're just as dumb as we are in certain things, hygiene and, keeping a tidy home and...
Yes, if you're cute enough, they'll find it charming.
Credit card debt, things like that.
Yeah. Oh, he lives in a van. How quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was going for.
He's going through a lot right now, but he's a good person.
He's an artist.
He's finding himself.
Leave him alone, Dad.
I would live in a van if I was single for sure.
Dude, the RV vans, I would. The stand up. The thing is, I want to stand up.
The Sprinter van, though. The Sprinter van has solved all of these problems.
Right.
Because the RV, the problem with that is it's really not aerodynamic at all. So if you're traveling, it's not great for going long distance. But the Sprinter vans are a little better.
Yeah.
They're still super top heavy. If the wind's blowing, it feels like it's going to
Sure, get like a tripod leg out there, like a kickstand.
We rented a Sprinter van a couple times after our van died. And it was nice, man. That was the living.
Have you ever seen these Westphalia vans by VW? It's Trent, come on, do the do the thing. It's a like the old 70s vans, those Volkswagen vans. Yeah. They have like a camper version. There's like a bed that pops up. There's a stove. There's a sink and stuff. Yeah.
That's bougie though.
Dude, Westphalia.
See that Mercedes right there? That's what.
Yeah, there it is.
Or is that a VW?
Look at those things. Those ones from the 70s, they're sick.
Bro, that thing would give you all kinds of trouble.
It's got like cabinets and like a kitchen thing.
If I knew how to fix it, then yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Getting a good running one. But it's pretty much all inclusive. Besides the bathroom part, but I think they give you a couple of buckets at the dealership.
That's what you pull up to the club in.
Isn't that great? There.
That's not bad. It looks a little small though.
Yeah, well, this is before the Sprinter vans came out. But it's already like you don't have to like build it. You don't need to watch a YouTube video on how to install plumbing in your van. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, you can't be installing plumbing, man.
Whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? I know they
They do have
these
it where
Instagram clips where it's like, look at this van I built in 30 seconds. You're like, I can do that.
Yeah.
6 months in, you're like, I can't.
Because you don't ever want to drill into the side of a vehicle because that's going to give you leak problems.
Yeah, it'll rust.
Unless you really know what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't. I got this old BMW now, and every other week I have the clutches out on it now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did I get myself into? You know what I mean? I bought it because I thought it looked cool, and now it's like, this is sucking every ounce of energy and money I have.
I learned that. I had an old Civic that I started working on like lowering it and
Yeah.
putting rims on it and stuff. I was like, this is so much money.
Yeah, it's
Because
insane.
once you do one thing, everything else starts breaking.
Yeah.
And then you have to fix all of that and upgrade all of that.
I could have what I bought this car for and the amount of maintenance I could have bought 3 of these cars. I'm not kidding. I should have just bought something, a brand new car at this rate.
I'm very practical now. Like, if I'm gonna buy another car, it's gonna be a van, so I can travel,
Practical. Oh, okay.
or just a pickup truck, something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, I'm very practical. If I'm going to buy something, it's going to be a Plymouth Prowler.
No, like a
At
mini.
this rate.
I would buy a minivan, but they're expensive because everybody wants one.
Yeah.
I feel like cargo van might be the way to go for me, because then I can trick it out, put a bed in there, and stuff.
I like a wagon. How do you feel about wagons?
Yeah,
My girlfriend hates that I like wagons, but
I like them. Yeah, like a
because that's the other thing is like if I do go like on a long,
yeah.
you got a gig out of town, you want to just kick back and lay down.
I have a Honda CRV. It's like a kind of small SUV.
Yeah.
But it seems like it'd be good to sleep in there, but it sucks because it's at like an angle.
Yeah.
So you get a terrible night's sleep in the back of that thing.
Yeah. My girlfriend, I drive my girlfriend's Kia Soul everywhere, and the seats go down. I've never tried to sleep in it, but they do. It does get flat if I'm in a pickle. I can lay down.
It seems a little small.
Yeah.
Like you'd be.
I sleep in the fetal position though, so I
Yeah.
don't need all 6 feet.
But you might need to stretch out your legs a little.
Yeah, maybe. But I can put my head in between on the center console,
And I didn't want to spend any money when I was on tour. Like I would go on a comedy tour in the CRV.
Yeah.
And so I would just I would blast the cold air so it was like chilly when I went to sleep.
Yeah.
And then turn the car off.
Sure.
Go to sleep. And then when I woke up like having a heat stroke almost,
Yeah.
I would turn the car back on for about 15 minutes, go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And then wake up and be like, well, that was just a bad dream when I was about to die from the heat.
You get a cooler full of ice and just open it.
Yeah,
And then-
exactly.
and then hope
A
that-
cold water bottle, stick that on your neck, you're good to go.
Sure. Try to delay the inevitable.
I did like a 2-week comedy tour before COVID. I did like just a bunch of days on the East Coast, like Richmond and Virginia Beach and stuff. And supposed to do Philadelphia, but that one fell through. And I slept in my car most of that time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the comedy life.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I feel like if you're buying like hotel rooms, you just lost all the money you made at the show.
That's true. Like I tried doing a comedy tour. This is early 2020. We actually booked it for March 2020, which I don't know if you guys remember, but that's when the disease happened.
Yeah. I think mine was like February. Or
Yeah.
January.
So we just, it was me and my buddy, and he like booked all the rooms. So it was just one by one. Each show got canceled. So we just played board games in like Nashville, and then New Orleans, another board game. You know what I mean? Like it was.
That's awful.
It was just like a romantic tour with my buddy.
You should have just kept the shows going.
Dude, we couldn't help it.
Virus is fake.
New Orleans didn't care though. We went to a piano bar and it was like, this is like peak hysteria. 200 people in this piano bar just sneezing and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then this like a week later
don't
we
care.
hear like New Orleans is now the new hot spot. Like, yeah, we know.
New Orleans is insanity, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't think they ever.
I've been there many times. Like just driving in and out of that city is like putting your life on the line, man.
Yeah. I think I saw a horse throw up on Bourbon Street. That's how much they party.
So you did like Tampa and then back to Athens, or?
No, I did comedy in Tampa for about 5 years. And I was like, I'm gonna try this in New York. And then I went up to New York. I was there for a year. And then that's when I booked that tour for 2020. And it started back in Tampa.
Yeah.
And then my last show was in Athens.
Okay.
And
Start it with the hometown and finish it with the hometown.
yeah, exactly. It just did like, we went from Florida New Orleans, Tennessee, Alabama, like just basically the Southeast.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we did like the whole SEC championship, SEC conference basically. Is what
That
we did.
sucks though. That
Yeah, and they all got canceled in my one, and so my last show was where I grew up, and pandemic. So I was just like, I'll just wait this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks turned into 2 years. So I like went back to New York to like grab my toaster and shoes.
Man.
And now I live in Atlanta.
That's like life changing right there.
Oh yeah, you could say that.
That's a turning point.
I never meant to leave New York. I just happened to be here.
Mine was very life changing, man, because I was booking shows. Like that was all I was doing until COVID happened.
Yeah, I was doing stand up full time.
I had to like get a job. It was
terrible. Yeah, I worked on a farm for like the pandemic. I like learned how to build fences. It was insane.
Just out there on the farm, like.
Yeah, dude.
You're like a fallen Jedi. Like,
I work with like the most country. He was missing teeth.
You're like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I went from like the most packed people in New York to like one. I work with one dude now. You know what I mean? On like hundreds of acres.
So, overall, would you say like?
Yes, I would say.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase it.
We wore overalls, right?
Overall, like, are you glad you ended up where you are now, or do you wish none of that ever happened?
I mean, I wish the pandemic never happened, but it worked out in a way that it's like it did work out, because now I'm still I'm back to doing comedy full time.
Yeah.
And I have an old BMW.
Yeah, because it was rough for me too, man. But I don't know. I feel like I learned a lot during that time.
Sure.
That maybe I wouldn't have learned as fast if it hadn't happened, about performing and
yeah, it really makes you concentrate.
Yeah,
you're kind of like in your own. You make some. It's like, am I really going to commit? And on the other side of it, it's you hope you're better for it.
And it really made you question if you were a true comic or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, when this comes back, when comedy comes back, am I going to be there? Am I going to, like, show up? And it's still tough for me, man. Like, I feel like I really had some momentum going before COVID happened. Like, I was touring. I was getting booked. I was meeting the right people.
Life was sweet.
And it was just like starting over. Sometimes I feel like everything was set back to zero. Like, everyone kind of was at the same place now. And I think a lot of new people jumped on that too. And they were like, oh, it kind of feels like everyone's on the same level. I can jump to the next level.
Yeah. Well, also, it weeded out a lot of people. They were like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, that too.
Because I'm sure you experienced this where like people aren't really like they're just doing it for the hang.
Yeah. And
I'm like, are you going to write a joke, or
are
you just going to keep getting booked on all the coveted shows just because you have weed or whatever?
Hey, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, it's a social thing, so people are going to make their friends and stuff. But yeah, I very much look at it like it's great for me to have friends while I'm out doing this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm out here for a reason. Like,
yeah.
I'm working on stuff. I'm improving my act at all times if
That's
I'm at
true.
an open mic. Because if not, why am I even there?
You're right. I think at the end it all kind of like like if you're not completely committed to it, you're not going to keep. There's only so much you can take before you're like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? There's some self-awareness to it.
I showed up to McCracken's one night, and I had just like, I hadn't written a new joke that week, and I was late showing up, so I was just like, I'm just not going to go up. And then later that night, I was like, I felt like such a bitch, like, inside.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like such a pussy that I didn't go up. That I was like, it like made me angry with myself, and I was like, I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, well, I'm already here.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I might as well even say an old joke, but just to get back in. Like, right now, I was sick for a while, like
Exactly,
for the
man.
holidays.
At least get one in.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a problem with that. If you want to go to an open mic and not go up because it's too late, I totally understand. But for me personally, I was like, I messed up. Like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, if I'm going to drive all the way out there, I'm getting up.
Yeah.
Or at least
I
try
live,
to.
10 minutes away, too.
Okay, that's the other part. Yeah, if you're not, like, spending gas money or whatever. If you didn't get cut off 3 times on the way there.
If you didn't get shot at on 285.
Sure.
But yeah, very much like you have to be a real comic to make it through something like COVID.
Did you start in Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm from Marietta, and there used to be a music venue called Swayze's.
Uh-huh.
It was like an all ages venue, kind of just like a Wild West kind of situation.
Yeah.
And bands would play all the time. That's where I got into like band stuff. And then I had a band. I started performing there, and they used to do a thing called punk and poetry. I think that kind of like ignited the comedy. So yeah, stuff like this would happen. I actually got flagged for this song that's attached to this, so don't play that.
Is this your band?
No, this was another guy that used to perform there. Stuff like this would go on, and
set his crotch on fire and then try to wiggle it off.
Yeah, like jackass kind of stunt stuff. There was another band. The guy who owned the place would do like jackass style.
That's great.
That's the Emotron.
This is some of the funniest open mic stuff I've ever seen.
He's a legend, dude. He'll do like this like soundscape synth stuff that's really creepy, and then he'll like tie rubber bands around himself. It looks like he like spray painted his face or something.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a close relationship with his doctor. It's like, Steve.
My old roommate used to do the Flamin' Nuts bit, and he like burned himself really bad one time.
Yeah. It's a thing you don't. It's a thing you don't really workshop.
But that's kind of where I started.
The old setting your balls on fire shtick. Yeah, my grandpa taught me that one.
So I would do stand up for like before or after bands would play.
That's tough.
And yeah, it would be for like nobody, but my friends would come watch it, and a lot of times it'd be for like some bands that didn't sell any tickets.
Yeah.
And the owner, like, he liked my jokes and like he liked me as a person, so he just started putting me on shows.
That's cool.
And yeah, because he knew that my friends would come see.
Yeah.
Because they would just hang out there all the time anyway. Kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be like 10 people maybe, but at least there was 10 people to watch whatever shitty band was playing.
I wish I had 10 friends that showed up to my shows.
Yeah, yeah. But they would show up and drink in the parking lot.
Yeah, whatever.
Smoke cigarettes and stuff.
Man, I got hired for one. It was like a festival in Savannah where it's like tell jokes while bands are setting up.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to do my act, and then you're like, you know what I mean? They're like testing. The drummer's like, okay, kick, give me the snare.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can't do that. Not during sound check.
Yeah, well, that's what it was, because it was a festival, so there'd be multiple bands on the same stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so in between their setups, I'm like trying to keep the crowd.
The sound guy must have wanted to kill you, man.
Dude, it was brutal. It was brutal. I was like, here, stand over here while we get the wires.
I was doing a show at a venue, and I'm not gonna name him, but the dude, if he didn't think the comic was funny, he would start playing sound effects. And I had to talk to him multiple times about it. And every time he'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Please stop.
I won't do it. And then the next time he didn't find a comic funny, he would do it. And I'm like, this dude's a fucking
freaking jerk. We did this one in Stone Mountain. Speaking of, I think we talked about, it was a John Locke. Were you there for that?
No, I know the show.
Yeah. So the ladies, the owner, when she didn't find she came out with a mixing pot, with a mixing bowl and a wooden spoon, and beat it.
Oh man, that's so disrespectful.
Dude, it's the rudest thing. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh no, I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, no, that was Will Henry's.
Yeah.
No, I remember. That place doesn't do a show anymore because they prioritized poker night.
Yeah, I think that was our last show.
Well, illegal gambling probably makes more money.
She dented the metal bowl with how hard she was hitting it with it. Dude, it started off as a bowl, it ended as like a plate.
See, man, sometimes, like, if I'm on stage and that happens, like, I'm going to start roasting you. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, I had to close out the show. So I saw this happening to, like, I was like, this is a nightmare. You know what I mean? I'm walking the plank.
There's a way like to show a little respect. You don't have to like everybody's act, but as the owner of a venue, that looks pretty trashy when you're interrupting the performers that you invited to be there.
Yeah, it was like Caesar with a wig doing this thing.
Yeah.
And so I got up there and I was like, I got to be up here for 30 minutes. I don't, you know what I mean? I was just honest with her. I was like, look, I don't want to be up here either. You know what I mean?
Like, I didn't ask to come to your dumpy little bar, disgusting bar.
Yeah.
You asked for this to happen.
I'm doing a job.
You thought it would bring in business. So if that didn't work out, then that's on you.
Yeah.
You're the only person to blame for that.
Yeah. Anyway, here's a joke about a fly I wrote 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I hope you like it.
Yeah. That makes me mad. Like,
yeah, these are jokes, lady.
it's called respect.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, the same with the Seinfeld sound effects. It's disrespectful. If they
It's
didn't
still
say-
funny to hear about though from the out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but that's hilarious.
It is funny.
Sucks to have it to them, but
But
it's
when it
funny hear
happens
about.
to you, it feels bad, right?
Oh, of course.
It's like
Yeah.
they don't like me, or because it's still a human being. Like, just because you don't like the act doesn't mean
Yeah.
somebody out
Well,
there.
we got some revenge. I mean, when you get the microphone, you can always like tell them how ridiculous you're being.
Yeah, and I will.
Yeah, I just was like, someone's not getting their chicken wings because you just destroyed all the equipment.
And have you ever been at like a bar? You start making fun of the bar because it's kind of a dead show. There's
Sure.
not a lot going on, and they start getting mad at you for roasting the bar. It's like
Yeah.
this place is a
Yeah,
dump.
I'm
Like,
just
come on.
I'm just addressing the environment. I'm just making it known what we're all feeling.
Yeah, if you don't want me to make fun of the walls being yellow, then why'd you let people smoke in here for
Right.
100 years?
I did an open mic in Alpharetta, and it was bad. And then after I get off stage, the host is like, "Hey man, I only got one rule, and you can't talk about how empty it is in here." I'm like, that's the one rule. How many empty shows have there been for you to be like, I got to make a rule here? You can't mention what you're noticing.
The owner was probably getting tired of the show, and the promoter was like, "Come on, man, it'll work, man. Just give it more time."
I'm like, how long? He's like, I've been doing the show for over a year. I'm like, then you fix it. You know what I mean?
Every week.
Wow, don't make a rule. Do something about it. It's my
Every
first
week.
time here. What do you want me to do?
Comics were just destroying him every week.
Yeah, he's like, he's getting his feelings hurt because no one shows up to his open mic. I'm like, I didn't do it.
What is this thing? Is this a Wix fairy flyer?
Looks like a Star Wars.
Sure.
What is it?
It's a random thing that I made with my little molecule set.
Oh, but what are the paddles for in the molecules? I don't know anything about science. So.
Chemistry stuff, Billy.
That's not a Star Wars toy?
No,
Okay, just like a little knick-knack we got here.
it's a Pokemon.
Yeah, it looks like that's the last thing you want to find on a boat. We'll never get out of this rapid.
I'm gonna find a way to plant this in a meth head neighbor's house.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "What is
If you do that, you can have it.
it?"
Well, I think the meth head will own it at that point.
It doesn't look electronic enough. You want some coffee, man?
I'm okay. That's not a real coffee cup, is it?
It's a coffee cup, but it's full of sugar. Gets me going.
What, do
Yeah.
you really just sip out of that?
No. It's just
Why do you have a giant coffee cup full of sugar?
this was the only clean container I had at the moment.
For sugar?
Yeah. I had to
Well,
bring
the question remains, what do you have a bunch of sugar for?
I had to bring it over here for Trent. He needed
Oh, you
some
baking a
sugar.
cake or something?
Yeah, I'm a good neighbor.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Just baking a pie.
Oh, okay.
Cookies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For Christmas.
Baking.
Yeah.
You don't have like a kit? You don't sell boxes of it? What the hell? You're making desserts out of scratch?
I don't know.
You
I'm
could
rich.
say that.
Okay.
Also, baking can have multiple meanings.
Yeah.
No, I get the innuendo. I see what's going on around me. I'm not.
I don't know. I'm getting distracted by all of the toys on the table.
Yeah.
The cup full of sugar and the Pokemon.
That's a good sign for a podcast.
Plus,
when the host wants to play with toys. I guess this went well.
We can wrap it up. It's
cool,
pretty
man.
much. We said 45 minutes, so that's about it.
Okay.
You got any shows coming up, man?
I do, but I don't think it matters.
And where can people find you online?
We got it pulled up right now.
What do you mean, man?
Tim Chirikalov.
I got listeners. They're gonna look you up.
Yeah, my shows are on my website. So if I'm booked on anything, I'll put it on there.
Is your website your name?
Yeah, it is.
Oh man, ain't nobody gonna know how to spell that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I get no visitors. I have to, unless it's like I'm typing it somewhere. Then
Tim C Comedy.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. It's comedy with 2 C's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I see
it's
this website
it's
in person.
TimChirikalov.com.
That's right.
And he has all his upcoming shows on there.
Yeah,
which is
booked till
that's
January. Apparently.
Pretty professional, man.
Yeah.
Do you update that yourself?
Yeah. My girlfriend designed it. She basically runs my life.
She does code?
She this is Squarespace, so they're just like
okay, there you go.
They give me something to.
Did you use the promo code Joe Rogan for?
I don't know. Maybe I should. It just renewed. I get 20% off on Blue Chew.
As always, you can find me at Billy Willig on all social media. That's BILLYWI.
Yeah, you're plugging your own thing on your own podcast. The hell?
And you can find Trent Ludzack wherever he's at.
Yeah.
Trent Ludzack. That's a good one. Just your name. That's easy.
Yeah. Cool.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, this is fun.
Peace.